mean, 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.
And I voted for President Trump.
I mean, you're an educator. You didn't vote for Trump eliminating federal funds.
No, I did not vote for that. I do not think that's what the voters want. It's devastating.
County wants to cut our school funding. I don't think that anyone voted for that.
Do you mind if I ask who you voted for in the election?
I voted for Donald Trump.
80% of this county did vote for Donald Trump in November. But that doesn't mean that they believe that anything will be cut here.
I have to take responsibility for my personal vote that enabled that. I have to say I wasn't paying attention. I should have been and I wasn't. There's a lot of reasons for that, but and I regret that, obviously now. Trying to take responsibility for that and own it publicly.
The day after Trump won, I knew I had made a huge mistake. A lot of guilt and genuine shame. Probably going to get some understandable hate for this.
But some folks who aren't feeling Trump's optimism right now are American farmers, and they are stuck in the middle of all of this.
Frank, who did you vote for president?
Mr. Trump.
Right?
Trump.
Mr. Trump.
If the election were today, Frank, would you vote for Donald Trump?
No way. Couldn't happen.
No.
You voted for President Trump. So now, in this moment, you say you're in a free fall. What is your message to him?
So I'm off the Trump train. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business.
A wheat farmer who says he's lost $400,000 since Trump took office.
I think there was a lot of people who voted for him that want to stay loyal to him, but it's going to get to the point where financially, if it's between supporting the president or losing your family farm.
You voted for the president?
Yes, I did.
And do you support these policies which might be hurting farmers like you?
Right now, we're the ones that are taking the hit.
I think he's sort of backstabbing the main people who got him into office in the Midwest, and he just left us down.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you.
A few moments later.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I really don't understand something. I see that MAGA Republicans are very upset because Tom Hanks portrayed a MAGA as a dim-witted racist. What I don't understand about that is why they would be upset at being accurately portrayed. That's what I don't get. They go out of their way to be performatively dim-witted and racist. And yet, when other people acknowledge the fact that they are both dim-witted and racist, they get upset about it. I don't understand that. You made your point. We get it. You are trying very hard to come across as dim-witted racists, and so you have. Congratulations. We all see you for who and what you are trying very hard to portray yourself as. So why do you get upset about it?
NBC News reporting tonight that the Trump administration accidentally, totally didn't mean to fire the people working on bird flu. No idea how that happened. Now the bird flu experts at USDA, they are trying to hire them back They did this with the National Nuclear Security Administration as well, which we talked about on last night's show. Now it's with the bird flu workers. Oops. What does this button do? Does anybody know what this button does? I thought I should ask because just a minute ago I just pushed it. Does anybody know what it does? Got any other buttons I can push?
I'll just pop it on here first because if I don't, this insufferable human being is going to chase you off, even if I tell you a stitch is coming. So just try and hang in there. I'll be right back.
What about the groceries? Have the groceries have they come down yet?
I don't give a fuck about grocery prices. We are exposing the corruption in this country in real time, and we're reducing government spending at the same time. Billions of dollars we are saving after we cut off funding dumb shit.
Ooh, she doesn't give a fuck about groceries. You know what she does give a fuck about? Me making a video because she blocked me. Didn't work, though. But no one's surprised that you don't give a fuck about groceries. Normal, average Americans care about those things, but the MAGA chodes like this, all they care about is treating politics like sports and being like, yay, our team won, which is like a weird move. But let's pretend she did this in good faith. Weeding out corruption and stopping the spending of money on dumb shit, I believe is how she put it. Dumb shit, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. It's one of the ones being torn apart. And what do they even do? The CFPB implements and enforces a range of consumer finance laws, such as the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which, among other things, helps ensure the accuracy and privacy of people's credit reports. The agency also issues and enforces financial regulations. Those sound like good things, but maybe it's an inefficient waste of money. It's funded by the Federal Reserve. But what is the return we're getting on that investment? Their operational budget proposed for 2025 is somewhere between $810 and $823 million. And that's a lot of money in real people money. Not so much in government budget money, but in real people money, that's a lot. So what are they doing for us at $823 million a year? The CFPB was formed in 2011. In 2023, they put this report out. $17.5 billion is the amount of money the CFPB has put back in American pockets in the form of monetary compensation, returned to American consumers. In fact, the more recent numbers I saw was $21 billion. In 2023, they had imposed more than $4 billion in civil money penalties on companies and individuals that violate the law. And those numbers can't even take into consideration how much money American consumers didn't lose in the first place because of laws and regulations that they enforce. Companies afraid to take advantage of people for fear of retribution. And now, thanks to Trump, things like the CFPB's plan to save consumers $15 billion a year in overdraft fees is on hold. That's just per year, $15 billion that American consumers would not be paying out in predatory overdraft fees. That could go away because they're gutting the CFPB. But I feel someone like this would be like, hey, forget about that. Well, you're not even mentioning stuff like USAID. USAID's like a huge waste of money. Okay, let's talk about USAID. That makes up less than 1% of our national budget. That was a big waste of money, right? That's something we should do away with. It's going to suddenly somehow infuse a bunch of money back into America, right? That's Elon's motivation for going after USAID, right?
Mr. Talcove, do you know how many inspector generals at agencies that were investigating Elon Musk's companies have been fired by the Trump-Musk administration?
No.
It is 5. Ms. Royal, the inspector general at the Department of Labor had 17 open investigations into Tesla and SpaceX. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that inspector general?
No.
They fired him, and I think y'all know. Mr. Whitson, the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation was investigating Tesla. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
No.
They were fired. The Department of Defense's Inspector General was looking into SpaceX. Mr. Hedler, do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was fired.
Thank you. I think everybody on the panel knows what the answer to these questions were. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Inspector General was investigating Musk's Neuralink. Mr. Talcove, now I'll ask you again under oath, do you know what Mr. Trump did to that Inspector General that was looking into one of Musk's companies?
No.
He was fired. The Inspector General at the EPA was repeatedly taking on Tesla. Mr. Hedler, since it seems that You're answering the questions that everyone knows the answer to. Do you know what the Trump-Musk administration did to that Inspector General?
I believe he was also fired.
Also fired.
Hey, remember when she was talking about weeding out corruption? It's funny to me that Elon Musk, first and foremost, went after all of these agencies that just coincidentally happened to be investigating him and possibly coming after him with fines and sanctions and who knows what else. And you can't even really argue that inefficiency is the focus, because one of the most inefficient corners of our government is the Pentagon. They've failed like their last 7 audits, yet somehow Doge seems to have no interest in the Pentagon. And listen, getting rid of something like USAID serves a dual purpose for him, because he's made it very clear that he genuinely looks at people in need as the parasite class. And it doesn't stop with USAID. There's going to be food stamps, Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid. He is the living embodiment of the old story of a banker, a blue-collar middle-class worker, and an immigrant are all sitting at a table, and there's 21 cookies on the table. And the banker reaches over and scoops up 20 of the cookies and then taps the middle-class worker on the arm and says, "Hey, man, you better be careful. That immigrant's going to steal your cookie." Elon Musk just wants all the cookies.
I wrote an application for you to adopt. I thought this is like the best place. I brought an application for you to adopt. I feel like you don't want to adopt.
You who take
right?
away the sin of the
Getting
world.
this weird feeling. I brought an application to adopt. Wait, am I interrupting you? Anyone want to fill out these adoption papers? An application to adopt. An application to adopt. Leave you alone. Am I interrupting you as you're harassing people trying to receive health care? Oh my God, I'm so rude. It's so rude of me. There's about 300,000 kids in the foster care system. I think each one of us adopts like 10,000 of them. I think we can clear the foster care system. We're all working so hard to harass women as they get health care. I brought you some cake. No, I brought you cake. It's cake. Excuse me, officers, I hate women. I'm supposed to be here. Yeah. They asked for daily bread, yet do they accept daily bread?
I'm in 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote?
I never thought I'd say that, but I regret my vote. I voted for Trump.
I voted for Trump, and I regret it now.
As a Hispanic, I voted for Donald J. Trump. Dude, I regret it so much, man.
I am regretting my vote for Donald Trump.
I voted for Donald Trump, and now I regret it.
A lot of people who were like me voted for Trump and have to account for that.
I regret voting for Trump.
So deeply regret my vote for Donald Trump.
I regret voting for Trump.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now.